Hey, what's up? I'm Breanne Williamson. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are recapping the Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2, Episode 1. So if you haven't already watched Episode 1, this video will contain spoilers for Episode 1. So either go watch it first or just buckle up for the spoilers. Most of you already know, but I will be posting a video every single day for this series, recapping an episode. It's our trashy reality TV sapphic book club. And with each video, I will be throwing a question out to you all that you can discuss in the comments down below in the true fashion of a book club sort of vibe. And today's question for us, the community, is who is your favorite person on the show and why? Because there's a variety of reasons that could be. It could be that they make good reality television. It could be that you would date them. You could see them as a friend in real life. Whatever it is, let us know in the comments down below and discuss amongst each other. And as we go through this recap, please share your feelings on the episode as well in the comments below. Let's create a discussion out of it. This is supposed to be fun. It's reality TV. It's not that serious. It's just something silly. It's something to enjoy. So thank you to the lesbians that absolutely traumatize themselves to bring us this entertainment. It's much appreciated. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and turn your post notifications on. It's a lot of work to make these videos, and being an LGBTQ plus creator right now, it's tough out there. So I so appreciate your support by giving this video a thumbs up, making sure you're subscribed. I know it's easy just to find these on your homepage, but it really helps me out, and our community is growing. We are almost at that 100,000 subscriber mark. So it takes 2 seconds to do. It's free for you to do, and it helps me out big time. So I appreciate it so much when you subscribe and turn your post notifications on. And finally, if you did not get the watch along games I sent to my text list, sip along games and bingo cards that you can use while you watch the episodes. If you want those, if you missed out, it's not too late. Don't worry. Text me the word ultimatum and I will send those games your way. They're free and they're fun. I have my notes, and I encourage y'all to make notes too as you watch. These are our players right here on the screen. All right. So you can reference them, because if you're like me, it's hard to remember names. Also, this cast, as we've discussed so far in the videos we've already made in this series, so many of them are so similar to me, I'm already getting confused. So I had to keep reminding myself who the fuck each person actually was and who they were dating. But we're already seeing the payoff from that, because I feel like so many of them could be each other's types, which is fun to watch. My first thought is just that we have a straight host again, which is a bummer. There's not much else to say about that. There was one point where she started giving advice about how her family and what was important was her husband and her kid. And that's like what got her through grieving her parents. And the advice seemed like it was in reference to the fact that a lot of people were not moving forward due to family pressures. And I was like, first of all, you're straight. You have no idea how this feels. And second of all, I'm sure when your parents were alive, they accepted and probably loved your husband and your child. So it just seemed like such strange advice, because it seemed like so obviously out of touch. And I understand the host is going to be the host, but I feel like the unsolicited advice from the straight woman needs to wrap up. Two other things I noticed right off the bat that I think are going to be pretty savage. One is just, I guess, more silly, that they're already referring people in the subtitle cards as the original partner. I think that's such a funny way to put it. So I noticed it was like Brittany's original partner. I thought that was funny. Another thing I think is going to be a doozy this season is the surveillance camera footage. I think naturally people forget it's there, even though obviously it was disclosed to them. There's a difference between when you have a camera pointed in your face and when it leaves. And a lot of the teasers we've seen so far, the really juicy moments seem to be the surveillance camera clips. And if you remember on season 1, Fingergate, my buddy Ray, was due to the surveillance camera footage. So I think that they're going to dive even further into that, and we're going to catch a lot of moments that I think people on the show may have forgotten the camera was recording for. I'm already realizing that some of my first impressions from my last video are probably wrong. I was team Dana going in and Megan not so much, and already I'm starting to swing on that. I thought it was really strange that while they were all still sitting at the initial table, Dana was like right away like, yeah, I'm into Mel. Mel's my type. I was like, okay, let's relax for a moment. You know, Miss Swisher, our straight host, hasn't even finished introducing everyone and you're already ready to jump ship. So I thought that was a little much. I need to quickly say here that Bridget's makeup is so good. Every time Bridget is on screen, I'm like, wow, their makeup's amazing. Also, Bridget and Kyle, as I anticipated, their communication seems very sweet and very healthy. So I'm already rooting for them to stay together. And I just think that the way they communicate is so different than all the other couples. There's 3 folks on this episode already that maybe aren't my favorite. And again, in real life, they can be totally different people. I'm speaking just based on the show as if they are characters on the show. I know edits can make things look different, but these people are rubbing me the wrong way. First is Mildred. Mildred, I cannot put my finger on. First of all, in one of the scenes, she had stuff in her teeth, and I thought it was really shady for the person that was talking to her to not tell her. I also her style is strange to me. I need to know where she's from. Maybe I missed it, but her style choices and the way she presents herself, she kind of sticks out in a way. And her partner, Ashley, doesn't necessarily correlate with it. I guess she does. They both kind of look like they come from a farm town or something. I don't even mean that in a mean way. It's just like the style is so different than, for example, in contrast to like a Bridget and Kyle. Also, the biggest thing from Mildred that is making me actually put her on this list is I don't trust her. I don't think Ashley should either. I think Ashley already doesn't trust her. Her whole storyline is about this like wandering eye. And it's very weird that she's just like outward about that. She just doesn't give a fuck. She's like, yeah, I have a wandering eye. She's like, I always got to be checking to make sure there's not someone else out there. I'd prefer more. Like, it's just weird that she's so brash about it. Mel is straight up being like to their partner, I don't want marriage or kids. And they're like, I do want both. So already it's like, And the food truck has already been brought up. I love how their partner was like, well, if we break up, what am I going to do about the food truck? Like, can I still work on the food truck with you? No, you guys aren't going to break up and then work on the food truck together. What in the lesbian? Like, the homophobia is bubbling up inside of me just hearing something like that. I also just think Mel thinks that she's hot shit. And I don't know if she's backing it up with her behavior or really anything else. Like, she comes off not confident, just like arrogant in such an icky way. And it really rubs me the wrong way. AJ's kind of the same. I don't know, leaning more towards confidence, but still just that arrogance. And the fact that they went from crying to their partner, I understand that people put walls up, but they were crying to Brittany like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. And then hits the pool party and is like, yeah, I don't give a fuck if Brittany's watching. I'm single. This is fun. I'm single, AJ. I get that that's what they're supposed to do, but I think that there's a certain respect level. Like, for example, you see Kyle and Bridget going for it and being like, yeah, we're single and we're mingling, but there's still that mutual respect for one another. And I feel like AJ maybe intentionally was going over the top to kind of rub it in Brittany's face. My other thought on this episode is I'm just so kind of over the whole mask dates a femme and that's the only way to fit. And I get people have their preferences and their types, but right away we see Mel sit down with Megan on a date and they are two of the more mask-leaning folks on the show. And like I talked about, they're not even that masked. Like, they're masked for the group on the show. But, you know, I wouldn't call them like butch or, I don't know. They're more like chapstick, tomboy. And Mel immediately, when she sits down to Megan, is like, well, you're my most handsome date. Like, kind of writing it off. Like, well, we're obviously not going to date. We're going to bro. And it just, I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of that. I would have loved to see some mask on mask potential or at least openness. And then Mel goes on to, I hate to say it, but just continues to rub me the wrong way. She's full of one-liners, and honestly, AJ is too. Mel and AJ are the one-liner people, and it's kind of driving me nuts. Like Mel to Dana, she was like, oh, you're trouble. Dana's are trouble. What does that even mean? I guarantee she doesn't know another Dana. She just said that. She's just like, oh, Dana's are trouble. If her name had been Rebecca, she would have been like, Rebecca's are trouble. Like, it just seemed so weird. And Dana's response too, she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was just weird. I think Dana actually said, I've never heard that. Like, it was just a swing and a miss. And then another line, Mel goes, Mel is short for Melissa, but also melodrama, because I'm always so dramatic. Like, what? What an odd thing to say. Dana during that whole conversation was just giving way more mature. Like, they didn't even seem like they were even close to the same ballpark. But then oddly, she seems to continue to like her. And I think it's because it's the only person that she could potentially see herself with on the show. So I think she's trying to lock her in. AJ's also just fishing for compliments. Like, she had this one line where she was like, I don't think I'm ugly. And I hate when people say shit like that on dates, because you know, as the other person, you now have to be like, no, you're not ugly, which is exactly what Bridget did. And I think that's so tired. Like, fishing for compliments is just, it's weird. And it honestly, it shows that the confidence is false, right? That they're actually probably quite insecure, which I think we've seen those insecurities with AJ and the way that she speaks about her role in Brittany's and hers relationship. Like the fact that Brittany, she feels is successful and has achieved all these things, like purchased a house and a car and has this job. And then AJ feels like she doesn't really fit in with that. So this confidence feels kind of false. I think she's actually quite insecure. And those moments shine through when she says things like, oh, I don't think I'm that ugly, because she's waiting for someone to validate that she's not. We see the group talk about lesbians, if you will, and who their celebrity crush was. And, you know, they said Renee Rapp, Tiana Taylor, Fletcher. And this moment gave me the biggest ick. Like, it was such a red flag for me. Marie goes, speaking about Fletcher, she is just the right amount of gay. Now, what the fuck does that mean? The right amount of gay? Like, tell me you have internalized homophobia without telling me you have internalized homophobia. The right amount of gay is an insane thing to say. Like, she's palatably gay. Like, she fits enough within society. And I think that matches up with my perspective on how a lot of these people present, and why I think Bridget and Kyle kind of stand out is I think most of this cast, while obviously being queer, live under more heteronormative standards of how they present, how their family expects them to present, you know, making sure that their partnerships match up masc and femme. And we see that in moments where someone like Marie, who's dating Mel, says something like she's just the right amount of gay, which honestly also didn't age very well. We already talked about the fact that Mel and AJ are full of the one-liners, and honestly, a lot of what they say, I think they're just full of shit. My partner was like, AJ talks in AI poems. And then Mel keeps saying shit the whole episode. I mean, it just keeps coming. Like, at one point, she's like, at some point, you're going to be the villain in someone's story. Like, it's just, let's get real here. You know, like, bring the walls down. And I'm sure that's going to happen, but the one-liners are a little much. And then the episode ends with a breakdown from Megan, who I feel like I was so wrong about. I feel like a lot of my opinions stand from the trailer and the cast announcements and my first impression and prediction video about, you know, their family and them not wanting to move forward with marriage, and how I do empathize with Dana because of that scenario. However, seeing it go down, I think Megan is panicking. I think she's traumatized. And as I mentioned in previous videos, I don't think this is the place for her, right? Like, she is not going to get the therapy or counseling she needs in terms of how to deal with her family. I mean, her family's not there. And if anything, it's just going to traumatize her further watching her partner go off. It feels dark watching it, because I'm watching her unravel and spiral, and I just feel for her. And she just feels like a sweet person who's in a really tough spot with cultural pressures surrounding her. And I fear that Dana might be taking advantage of that, bringing her on the show, because we see her at the end of this episode basically begging to find a way out and to leave. And Dana's kind of holding her to that. And I think if Dana really just wanted her to figure out stuff with her family, she'd know that this wasn't the right place for her. So that's my recap on episode 1. Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. And also make sure to let everyone know who your favorite person on the show is and why. Make sure you're subscribed and your post notifications are turned on. It really helps me out as a queer creator and I appreciate it a lot. And I will see you tomorrow for the episode 2 recap. Bye.